Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and yet another episode of my F1 2018 career mode. Today we are here for the Italian Grand Prix, round number 14 of the season, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And if you guys did miss the last race for the Belgian Grand Prix, then you can go check it out in the top right hand corner of your screen. I really urge you to. It was a massive episode. A huge regulation change was announced for next season, guys. It's the biggest one we've had in the entire career mode, and I really urge you to, go check that one out and get up to speed on exactly what's happened. But as you can see, for this race, we do have a big upgrade package on the car, and a major engine upgrade along with a minor aerodynamic upgrade on the car. So a decent upgrade package for this race here in Monza, and also Singapore in mind with the aero in terms of improving that side of the car. But hopefully that should push us up a little bit in the R&D charts, as you can see there. However, Renault bring a massive upgrade of their own, and they actually overtake Ferrari. If not, it would have been pretty close between us and Renault as the third best team. But the Banana cars bring something of their own, a little bit of magic, and a really, really strong package from them as they now become the second fastest team. And all in all, we're just basically holding on to our fourth place. Now, to be honest with you, I mentioned in the last episode, I'm not really sure what the development path will be from now on, because the only upgrades we have left are ultimate upgrades, or I think major ones. We don't have any minors left. So, do we continue pushing, or do we start saving parts of the car for Mercedes next season, even if we're not racing for them? That's the kind of dilemma I'm in at the minute. But nonetheless, I leave that to kind of simmer and work in the background. You guys can always leave your thoughts in the comments below in terms of what you think I should do. Like I mentioned, do watch the last episode for more specific and better info, basically, so you guys get a better understanding. But with that being said, we are here for qualifying for the Italian Grand Prix Monza, the Temple of Speed, one of the fastest tracks on the calendar, and it's going to be a real challenge because it's one of those laps that there's not that many corners and there's not that many chances to get it wrong necessarily, so it has to be a perfect lap, and the margins tend to be very small around this circuit. So let's see how things go. Straight away, I noticed that we had good pace, had a decent setup, not a great setup. I went a little bit too aggressive, and the car wasn't great over the curbs, which is something that I should have improved. But I was stuck with it. As you can see though, 7/10 down through sector 1 already on Leclerc. That got me a little bit worried because I'm on the fastest super soft tyres that there are, and Leclerc was 7/10 up on me through one sector, and that pretty much translated through the rest of the lap, as you see there, as we crossed the line 1.3 down, and half of that, or more than half of that, was lost in one sector. So I went back out for another run. As you can see, and this was a really poor run. I got a bit of a scruffy lap and just generally didn't get the right lines, and as you can see, sector 1 was a bit of a loss of time, sector 2 as well, but then we pretty much nailed the Ascari chicane here, got it absolutely beautifully, and then we're going to carry that speed down towards the parabolic where we got a good exit, and we actually ended up improving slightly on our previous attempt. So I knew there was some time on the board, and I knew we could improve. As you can see, they're actually setting a purple final sector, so I knew that we had some decent pace, and we was P9, but the first sector was still bugging me, so I knew I had to go for it here, and this was my last attempt. I also knew there was some time in the middle sector, and maybe a little more time in the final sector as well, so we're going to jump on board now for a whole lap of the circuit. First of all, for turn 1, you're going to brake just before the 100-meter board as we hit 361 kilometers an hour, locking up the right front, making sure you attack that inside curb at turn 1, and then not touching the inside curb at turn 2, because that one is one you don't want to really get on. Then pretty much getting the traction perfectly on the exit, and we're currently 2/10 up as we go towards the end of sector 1. Now you want to brake at the 100-meter board once again on the right hand side, down to fourth gear, really attack the inside curb on both of these corners, especially the first one once again, and we gain a bit more time there as we now go into the Lesmo, fifth gear action, really keep it on a tight line, and then let the car run out wide to carry the speed. And once again, the second Lesmo, you want to really go on that inside curb more than what I did. You want to tap the inside kind of green stuff, if that's even possible, and that'd be the best line through there. But we still gain some time, a half second up pretty much, as we now go into the Ascari. Can we get an even better line than last time? We throw the car in there, really carrying the speed, using sixth gear. Very lucky to not invalidate my lap there with that second part of the Ascari actually cutting the corner a little bit there, and lap continues to go on here. We're currently 6/10 up pretty much as we now go into the parabolic. You want to try and brake at the 50-meter board, down to fifth gear, really try and rotate the front end, get the power down as soon as possible, and you can actually use overtake ERS here towards the end of the lap to really use up the maximum ERS possible as we cross the line, and we are going to improve to third place. It's a big improvement, and even though we're 4/10 off pole, it's a third place for us. We do eventually drop down a P5 as other people improve elsewhere, and there was no timing glitches involved. It was just genuine improvement from Lewis and also Kimi Raikkonen. But having said that, I'm not too disappointed. A decent qualifying P5, and ultimately that was the best I could have done. That lap was pretty much perfect. I don't really know where I would have found a better time, to be honest with you, because I improved in all 3 sectors. So, yeah, all in all, a decent qualifying and a half-decent grid position for the race tomorrow. So hopefully we can try and convert that P5 into something positive in the race. But with that being said, that is the story of qualifying here at the Temple of Speed for Monza. And now we move into the race for the Italian Grand Prix. And let's see if we could try and snatch a podium and stop the mighty Charles Leclerc. It's time for the race.
The Italians love their cars and they love their racing. And of course, they love it here at Monza. Home race for Ferrari, of course, who've had 18 wins here since 1950. But you know, there's not been so much luck for the locals in the cockpit recently. The last Italian driver to win this race was back in 1966. So what now? I think it's time to make some more history here today. We're 12 miles northeast of Milan for today's Grand Prix at a Monza circuit where we can expect top speeds of around 215 miles per hour. 11 corners on this 3.6 mile track, with 7 of those coming in the form of chicanes. And with a good slipstream and DRS open, there should be plenty of opportunity for some passing here today. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Martinez. That was a solid result in their last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Raikkonen, Martinez and Ericsson, Hülkenberg, Sainz, Ricciardo and Pierre Gasly, Verstappen, Perez, Brendan Hartley and Ocon, Alonso, Magnussen, Stoffel Van Dorn and Roman Grosjean. Stroll. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Sergei Sirotkin rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right, here we are on the grid then for the Italian Grand Prix. P5, a decent qualifying yesterday. Very, very happy with the lap. Pretty much got the maximum out of it. And now it comes down to the race and what our race pace is like. And also, can we try and get into that maybe podium position region? I think Leclerc, in my opinion, is going to be very strong, as in maybe a bit too strong this race for anyone to really compete with. After that, you never know. I think we could beat Lewis. Obviously, he's in the same machinery as us, so that's possible, even though I give him credit. His qualifying was absolutely sublime. And then the Ferraris, I want to say, might be a little bit too much to maybe go for, but you never know. I want to say a podium is possible. As long as I don't finish any worse than where I'm starting, then it'll be okay for the championship, because Leclerc had a bit of a poor race last time. So, yeah, let's just see what happens. Hopefully we can try and keep things interesting in the championship, keep our gap as much as we can going into Singapore, which will be a better chance for us, I think, to get a decent result in this Mercedes car. But with that being said, let's look at the race strategy, and it's going to be a very simple one-stopper, overcast conditions all the way throughout, as we saw at the start of the video, and pretty much it's going to be a race where it's going to happen on track. It's also interesting to see how far on strategy the other people around us go. It's going to be tricky to get the super softs to lap 9, but we're going to have to do that, otherwise two-stopper is not an option, in my opinion. Otherwise, we're going to lose too much time. So let's just see what happens. Hopefully, we can have a good race. We're 2 laps over on fuel in case we need to use rich mix to overtake/defend. And pretty much, we're just going to see if we can try and get a podium in this race. That's going to be the target, and try and upset some Italian fans here. But with that being said, let's jump into it. It's time for round number 14 for the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza. Let's do this. Right. Let's get ready for the 5 red lights here at the Temple of Speed. The lights are on, and they are off. Away we go. My reaction to the 5 lights wasn't bad, but my getaway is terrible. My second phase just got some really bad wheel spin, and we've lost a hell of a lot of places here to both Renaults and to Ericsson, which is far from ideal. Sainz does get some poor traction though out of there, so we are going to get the chance to get back past. Sainz still trying to go with me here, side by side with the Renault, the new and improved Renault. Gasly lurking as well, trying to make a move. We're going to go down the inside of Sainz though and make the move and take the position. There we go, good stuff. Getting that position back. Ericsson getting past Sebastian Vettel there, quite interestingly for a moment, but Vettel getting back past. Oh no, wheel on the grass, that's not the one. That's the worst possible scenario. We're going to be on the back foot massively here, racing down towards the Ascari chicane. And I think Sainz is going to get me here. Yeah, he's going to get me. I'm going to back out of it. It's only early, so we're not going to bother taking a risk going side by side through Ascari. Let's just back out, play the long game, sensible game. That Renault is very good in acceleration. Reminds me of the Sauber. Must be part of the new upgrades. But let's see what happens now. It looks like Ericsson is trying to cause some trouble there. Vettel's got past Raikkonen. He's actually starting to pull away a little bit. Leclerc already opening up a gap out the front. To be fair, Lewis is in P2, so he's had a good start. And here we go on the pit straight, already on 360 Ks, pretty much without DRS. Crazy speeds. And we are going to go down the inside of Sainz. I wasn't expecting that, but we've gone for it. Sainz still holding it. Giving him a bit of a squeeze through turn 2. I tried to push him onto the curb. But here comes Sainz, coming back at me again. The acceleration on that Renault is something else, man. Jesus, that car's fast. We're going to get the toe, though. We're going to try to go around the outside of the Renault again. Oh, man, that was a risky one, but we made it work. Lost the back end a bit mid-corner, but we are past Sainz. We're going to be on the back foot again, though, on this back straight. Hopefully I can get a good second Lesmo. No wheel in the grass this time around. But then again, I think Sainz is still close enough. I'm going to keep it in overtake. Can we stay in front? I don't want to go side by side into Ascari if possible, but we're going to have to defend. Oh my god. Okay, that should buy me some time now. That should buy me some time. Now we've got to push, really push hard here and try and open up a gap. It's important to not fall into the slipstream battles around here. Those can make or break your race. Right, we've got a yellow flag behind. Could be an issue. We've changed our brake pass to 56, trying to be a bit more front end in race trim, which seems to help me. Leclerc setting the pace. Oh, that's a poor exit there. I think Raikkonen and Ericsson came to blows, and we're both side by side here. Look at this, 4 wide onto the pit straight, I think. No, Hulkenberg's boxed in, but we've got past all 3 of them at once with their personal best lap, and we are going to get the positions. Are we going to get it slowed down? Yes, we are, and we're going to take the positions. Thank you very much. And a 3-for-1 overtake. That is exactly what I'm talking about. And we are P4 in this race now. Love that. Really, really, really nice move. And capitalising on the battles. And we are past those guys. So now, let's push on here in P4. Clean air. Let's try and shake off Kimi if we can. And if not, let's try and stretch him along and drag him for the ride. But let's try and catch up to Sebastian Vettel. Let's see if we have the pace. Oh man, Raikkonen is so fast on the straight. Can't do much about it. I'm going to get on the brakes early. Right on the outside at Parabolic, I've got a little bit more aero than Raikkonen, it seems. I'm hoping though, by getting on the brakes early, I might have just snatched the RS as I have. There we go. Tactical play works out beautifully. We need to try and pull away if we can and break the slipstream. It's so hard around here. Right, there we go. The gap's been broken. Hulkenberg tried to make a move on Kimi that lap, and that's bought me the time that I needed to open up a 1 second plus gap. So now we can stay calm, and we can now start to plan our attack on Sebastian Vettel and see if we have the pace. And so far this race is unfolding beautifully here. It's all worked out okay, considering the poor start. Oh, getting loose through there. That's a big one. Big loose moment there. We managed to catch it. That's going to cost me some time though. Luckily no tyres overheating, so let's pick up the pace and switch everything back on again into high engine modes. I need to stop making mistakes and try and make this gap count for something. Oh, Grosjean out of the race in the Haas. First retirement already. 7 laps in. Gap to Vettel not really changing that much at the minute. It's just kind of floating along. However, the gap behind is increasing quite drastically. So we're looking okay. I think Hamilton's actually struggling, and both myself and Sebastian are catching up to Lewis at the minute more than anything. So that might become a thing in the next few laps, especially as we fade into the pit stop window.
Some information on Verstappen. They seem to have an issue.
Right, Verstappen with car trouble. Meanwhile, we are actually starting to catch up to Vettel a little bit now. This is our scheduled pit stop lap, so I'm going to see what people in front do, and we shall respond accordingly. The overcut is tempting me already though. Right, into the Parabolica here. Let's see what the competitors do. Hamilton stays out, I think, yep. So we're going to pit in. There we go. Right, a bit of a conservative entry, but better safe than sorry. Looks like there are going to be some people in the pit lane as well, but we shouldn't get held up here, I don't think. There we go, nice quick stop, 2.5, and with no hold-ups, which is exactly what we wanted. Right now, there's a little pack of cars here. This can make all the difference. Let's see where me and Sebastian rejoin. Hopefully we both rejoin behind the pack. Burning up those rears, up the exit. Here comes Brennan Hartley. He's going to split me and Sebastian, which is not ideal, but we'll have to make it work. Right, let's switch these mediums on. This is going to take a while. These tyres are horrible. I could have maybe gone soft, to be fair, but I'm just going to stay on strategy with the leaders, because I'm a little bit faster than Vettel and I'm faster than Hamilton, so I think we can make it work. Struggling to find the pace on these mediums at the minute. They feel very understeery. Cars in the pit lane though. We're going to retake our net position. Hamilton's just rejoined there down towards turn 1, so he's kept the gap. These tyres have so much understeer on them and very little rear grip at the minute, so I need to try and have some patience as Sebastian Vettel gets to work straight away. The AI's tyres obviously, as always, working better. Hardly going for the move on Esteban Ocon here. They're going to be on the back foot. This is it. This is my chance for a move. Here we go. In the slipstream. We're going to pull to the inside, box in Ocon. We're going to go 3 wide here. I'm going to back off a little bit because I want that DRS. There we go. Oof, back end snapping on me there. Double overtake though, executed to perfection. And we will have DRS. I don't think Hartley's done just yet, but I don't think he's going to have enough. There we go. That should be us okay now. And we make the move. Lovely stuff. Right, Sebastian up the road up next. Let's get the hammer down. Let's try and chase him down. Right, fastest final sector as the Red Bull comes in. So we're now back into our original positions. But we have definitely closed the gap down to Sebastian here. Now can we keep the gap coming down, or will he start to pick up the pace? Let's find out. I'm starting to run out of rich mix as well, so that's not going to help. I'm just going to rely on ERS modes for now. I'm going to try and get some more fuel on my side so I can push after Vettel. I'm definitely getting close to Vettel now. No DRS there, but we were actually getting a slipstream, and I actually managed to get his name tag flash up on my screen. So we're starting to really put the pressure on the 4-time world champion. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it nice and smooth through Ascari if we can. That's what I'm talking about. And we're going to gain the slipstream a little bit, make up a little bit of ground as we still keep it in lean mix to save some fuel. And now into the Parabolica. On the power, into maximum engine modes. This is it. Let's get this move on Sebastian. Slipstream, DRS, pull to the inside on the home stretch. 360 Ks. And the job is done. And we are P3 in this race. Is it permanent? I guess we'll find out. My guess would be no. I think Sebastian's going to keep up with the slipstream for a little while. I need to try and find a way to break the toe. You can see Ferrari already. Look at that speed from Sebastian. He's gaining on me here. Strong chicane, very strong chicane there. Problem is that AI are so strong for the Lesmos, it's hard for me to once again open up a gap. Oh, little wheel in the grass there, that's not going to help. That's the risk you take for those extra little thousandths of a second. That's going to put me on the back foot here as here comes Sebastian. Down the inside. I'm going to concede the position. Oh my god. Vettel slowing down way too much there. That one hurt me bad. Awkward line there. Very awkward line from the Ferrari. Definitely feels like Sebastian's actually cranked up his own engine modes now in the Ferrari. Very fast on the straight now. I'm actually struggling to keep up in normal slipstream. I need DRS and everything I've got to keep up. But we are close once again here. We're going to try and go for it. This is much better positioning for me. Towards turn 1. Down the inside. Get it. There we go. Close the door on him. That was crucial. Not allowing him to hold it around the outside. Critical timing on the overtake. But that was much better. Sebastian giving the squeeze, but always leaving just about enough room. And this time we have made the move stick. No ball in the grass, but Vettel's still on me this time. Wow. Oh my god. That was so close. I tried to go around the outside, didn't pay off. Vettel back pass once again. Oh man, I just haven't got the acceleration that AI have. Every single AI car has ridiculous acceleration out of corners, which I just cannot match. It's just stupid. Let's try again here, onto the home straight. DRS on Vettel inside the final 10 laps now. Seb goes defensive. We're going to try and go for the outside this time. Something different. There we go. And the outside. Sebastian though getting the traction and the acceleration again here, even though I got good traction of my own. He's going to come back at me, I think. No, he's not. He's going to sit back and look like he's turned down the engine, because he would have easily pulled alongside me by then. Good chicane once again. Come on, let's try and open up this gap. Good Lesmos, very good Lesmos. My best Lesmos in a while. Come on. I think Sebastian's still in contention here. He's close enough. Oh, no, actually, no, he's not. I think he's definitely turned the engine down. He hasn't caught me up as fast as he has in the past laps, which might be a sign he might be turning down the engine a bit. So now I've got to try and pull away, but I'm out of rich mix as well. Seb gaining on me once again. This isn't over just yet. I think Sebastian's going to return the favour on the home straight this time around. Here he comes. He's turned the engine back up. You can notice the difference, and I'm not running rich mix. It's a drag race towards turn 1. I'm going to tuck in for a bit of a toe. Oh no, we both went a little bit deep there. Vettel just about giving me the room, but Sebastian makes the move and retakes 3rd place. I can't do much about this, unfortunately. It's just the way it is. Right, out of the Parabolica again here. Let's try and make this move count. Much more speed this time. Vettel definitely not running a high engine mode. You can see there as we absolutely walk past. Now can I break away again? I need to try and shake him off. Beautifully clean traction there, this time on the exit. Sebastian not able to keep up as close as before, but I need a strong lap here to pull away. I really do. This is a strong lap. Purple middle sector, but Sebastian is just getting the toe all the time, man. I can't shake him off. It's really, really frustrating. Come on, let's keep pushing here. One out of DRS across the line, but it's going to be a fast lap of the Grand Prix in 18.8. Sebastian's got DRS, but he's not close enough for a run, so we've done enough there to survive. But I need another one of those laps to really open up the gap, and I can't see that happening. That was a very strong lap there. Yeah, again, another failed attempt to try and pull away here. Seb's on me. Not much we can do. I've got a little bit of rich mix this time, though. We're going to far back along with an overtake, but he's turned up the engine. You can tell the difference in his straight line speed. I'm just going to sit behind him. I need to basically time the overtake as we pick up a 2nd track extend of the race. I need to time the overtake so that it happens pretty much going to the last lap of the Grand Prix. So I'm just going to sit behind him and wait, pretty much, and wait for a moment to strike. Oh, yellow flag on the pit strike. I think Leclerc's slowing down. I think Charles Leclerc's slowing down. I'm pretty sure I saw on the mini-map. We've gone green again. No VSC deployed. I think it's Leclerc, I really do. Yes, it is. It must be. It's a Sauber. We'll confirm it now. And there it is. He's pulling over. Leclerc is out of the Italian Grand Prix.
On Leclerc. They've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
Oof! Wow, that was close to Vettel. Also, that is massive for the championship. Absolutely massive. This battle against Vettel now becomes a battle for 2nd place and a potential 1-2 for Mercedes. Very, very interesting. But that is massive for the championship. That could be the end of Leclerc's title hopes there. You never know. Oh, the VSC's ending here. Let's make sure we don't speed. There we go. Beautifully timed. DRS now re-enabled. Oh, not my best run through there. I might just actually drop out of DRS from Sebastian here if I'm not careful. Maximum engine power to try and catch up again, but I think I might have just lost DRS maybe. No, I haven't. I think I'm still in. We're still in, boys. Rear tyres have gone cold though in that phase. Lost the temperature, lost the grip. Hamilton is not that fast in the restart. Myself and Vettel are really closing him down at the minute. But Vettel has picked up the pace to another level here. He's really going for it, and I'm struggling to keep up with this change of pace with the Ferrari, man. I really am. And I think this time I might not be in DRS. I really don't. I'll be shocked if I still have it. Sebastian really going for the kill here. I think it's going to be a fast lap from the Ferrari, man. I'll be surprised if it isn't. Okay, it's not, but he's still strong pace. We still have DRS, but you can see Hamilton on the mini-map. And also visibly, he's a hell of a lot closer. Okay, we've called back up to Vettel here. He's managed to survive his kind of early onslaught with the maximum engine power. We are now back within range. Ooh, bit of a wobble there. I can feel the back end slipping on me. Alright, let's try and get this one done here. I think I'm a little bit too far back. I might be actually. Vettel's picked up the pace. We're gaining. Vettel does go defensive a little bit here, which will put him on the back foot, but we weren't really ever close enough for that one. I'm going to have to wait until the next lap. That's when I want it to happen. Last lap of the Grand Prix, that's what we need. So let's get nice and close by the end of the lap, hopefully. Getting a good run through the Parabolica. Vettel's still going strong here with his engine modes, but we are close to this lap. Not much closer, it has to be said. Last lap of the Grand Prix, it's all or nothing. Vettel's holding on. And I wasn't really close enough, to be honest. I'm not going to go for that move if I'm not really close enough. I'll take the third place considering Leclerc's DNF. There's only 3 more points on offer for second place, and Leclerc's retired, so I'm not in a rush. But we are much closer to Vettel this lap. There's no over just yet. The dirty air through these Lesmos ain't great, I've got to be honest. Vettel opens up the gap. We've got to be careful to not extend, otherwise I'm going to get a penalty. But let's stay close. I know I can get the run here if I stay close through Ascari. Not my best exit. Not my best run through there at all. Tyres just letting go. I think Sebastian's going to hold this one. Into the final corner. Yeah, Sebastian's going to take it. That's fair enough. Hamilton wins at Monza though. It's a 1-3 from Mercedes-Benz in Ferrari's backyard. And I'm going to take that with a massive screen freeze across the line. But there you go. Job done. Third place. Very, very decent result. And the most important thing is Charles Leclerc retired, which is massive for the championship. Right, so looking at the final race results, Lewis wins at Ferrari's backyard ahead of Sebastian Vettel and myself, making it a double Mercedes podium, and Vettel splitting the silver arrows. Nico Hulkenberg P4 ahead of Kimi Räikkönen in the second Ferrari, Marcus Ericsson P6 in the first of the Saubers. Then we've got Gasly, Verstappen, Sainz and Daniel Ricciardo rounding off the top 10. But further down the order, the big news, Charles Leclerc, the man that was challenging me for the championship, retires from the race. And what does that mean for the driver standings? Well, as you can see, Hamilton, with that win, jumps up into second place. And even though we are the 4th fastest car, it's 1-2 Mercedes in the Drivers' Championship. And Leclerc drops down to P3. Sebastian Vettel overtakes his teammate for P4. And that top 4 is still covered by 50 points, which is only gone up 1 point since the last race. So the gap isn't really changing much there. But in terms of what that means for the constructors, obviously as you'd expect, Mercedes leading the way. But again, the gap isn't as big as you think. 61 points over Ferrari. It's barely gone up this race. And yeah, Ferrari are holding on, and we can't seem to break away. I think that's just down to car performance. But now we're going to see how things progress, you know, towards the end of the season. Who keeps on pushing on the development of the car? Who focuses on next year's package? That's going to be the real interesting one here. But all in all, that is it for Monza, guys. And we're not going to have enough R&D points to make any major upgrades. So yeah, we're just going to call it a day there. I can do lots of saving for Mercedes in one episode once I've saved up a lot of points. But if you guys did enjoy this episode of Career Mode, then please do drop a like on the video and also get subscribed for daily Formula 1 content. Turn notifications to not miss a single upload from me, and finally check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.